Just really excited about year two, and I think that we are getting better in a lot of ways and taking some positive steps forward. So thank you for being here and your interest in our program as well.
How much easier has everything been this off season, where you're not feeling like you're trying to like chase your tail and trying to catch up and do? You might still feel like you're doing five things at once, but how much different has the routine been now that you're in a rhythm?
I think being settled just helps when you are moving from one place to another and trying to find everything from the doctor to the dentist. It makes it a little tougher. But now I believe that we have a little bit of rhythm with our staff, whether that's recruiting, but more importantly with our team expectations. We've been through this one time, so now they know what we expect on the road, what we expect at home on game day. Just our offensive and defensive systems going into year two. That's been a lot of fun for me because now we're not teaching everything from scratch. So it's been really good.
You guys are playing some of your early games in Canada. What kind of went into that decision, and what are your expectations for that trip?
Yeah, Tanea Hilton and Aisha Dia, they're the two reasons why we're going out to Canada. We want to have them have an opportunity to play at home. Now, Canada is a huge country, so it's not like we're down the street from their families, but I think it does give them a sense of being at home, and I do think that their families are going to work really hard to get to them. The competition, obviously, playing Georgetown and Florida Gulf Coast. Georgetown had a tremendous season last year, a very, very motivated coach and program, so it's going to be a huge test for us. Florida Gulf Coast is notoriously in the NCAA tournament, and their best player just so happened to have been on our roster for 3 years at Wright State in Memphis, so it'll be good to see her. I don't know how well on the floor, but it'll be good to see her face. So definitely just being on the road, in a conference tournament type of feel. We have a couple games back-to-back, and you have to be away from home for a few days.
You just scrimmaged Thomas More. I don't know what they have this year, but you won handily. What did you see there? Are you encouraged, even though it's an exhibition, good things out of that to take into the regular season?
Absolutely. We were encouraged by the way we took care of the ball. That was our Achilles heel last year. And again, Tanea Hilton being here helps with that considerably. The addition of Chloe Mann is another ball handler that plays at the pace that we want to play. It allows Ari Jackson and Reagan Jackson to be in their natural positions, and Ari went 5 for 5 from the three-point line in that game, and that has a lot to do with just having additional ball handlers on the floor. And the obvious is, you got Jillian Hayes. So when she's on the floor, you got a chance to beat anybody.
Coach, 20-game conference schedule this year. During the non-conference, how do you go about managing your lineups and rotations to kind of keep your girls fresh for that grind within the Big 12 Conference?
I have to be honest, we don't try to keep them fresh. We try to grind them out because that's what the Big 12 is going to be like. There will be no days off, no nights off, and we have to be prepared to show up and play. And the last thing we want is for them to get smacked in the face once Big 12 play starts. So I think our schedule is tough. I think us going and starting on the road at UIC is one of those moments where we're going to be tested right away. Ashley Bracey is a great coach and has done a great job there and is turning that program. And they're going to be athletic and they're going to be fast and they're going to press us, and we're going to be tested right out the gate. And then it doesn't let up after that throughout our schedule.
What is your challenge for Jillian this year?
Yeah, leadership. Jillian is such a great player that she shows up every day and she works really hard. And we've asked her to vocally spill that into her teammates, and she has done a great job doing that. There's some things offensively that we're expecting from her, be able to score. You'll see her reverse pivot off the block some and drive it, spot up for some threes. She's always had the ability to shoot the ball. She's just been such a banger on the inside. It's hard for you to let her come out of there. But she's put in a lot of work in the gym, and I think that's what our expectation is for her to take what the defense gives her and not just always go in there and demand a couple of free throws. I think she'll make it through conference play with less bruises if she plays that way.
Coach, you obviously had Fan Fest on Saturday. How important was it to have an event like that heading into your second season here in the Big 12?
We love having the community come out. It's a very kid-friendly event. There's face painting and a lot of on-court knockout and some interaction with our players. It's just really important for us to be available and for us to be visible for all the people in the area. So we don't want to be a team where you can't come in and hang out with us. We want you to come to games and enjoy the experience as well as, of course, watch some good basketball.
So two of the girls were kind of like track stars, or at least one of them was. But was that an emphasis in recruiting? I'm going to go out and get faster girls so we can even speed up what we're doing.
Absolutely. I felt like we inherited a roster of really good players, and they had really good size. But where we were missing was some ball handling ability and to get downhill. And it's really just a style difference. I'm a dribble drive coach, so we like to get downhill, get to the free throw line, and get paint twos. So we just have started to recruit that way. And yes, you got Chloe Mann's a state championship and won a state championship in track, and then Daly Dunn is a two-sport athlete. So she ran track and played basketball at Fresno, and will likely be looking to do the same thing here. So, yes, we were very intentional about getting faster on the perimeter.
Jillian came back for her super senior year. You got the core of Ariel and Reagan Jackson. How important are those three together having another year to run in the Big 12?
Well, it's really important for Reagan going into her sophomore season. I mean, I don't know that there's anyone that would argue that you can work harder than her, because if she hears that you are in the gym, she's going to come show up there too and stay there until after you're gone. And that's just kind of how she is. So she's shooting the ball really well for us. Defense has improved. And, again, just really happy to be able to play in that off-guard position instead of the stress and pressure of handling the ball the majority of the time.
You took Tanea out to Big 12 Media Days with you. What does that say about her leadership capabilities to come in year one? She's already looked at, one of the leaders on the team as, a transfer.
I think in the portal, it can be a scary place. And what we were able to do was help her understand how much she was needed. We didn't just want to get depth. We needed someone who was going to come in and be able to play 30-plus minutes a game in that point guard position. And I think that she was ready for that challenge. But it was really important that she understood that it would be on her. And that's the good thing about having a fifth year. They've been tried and true, and she's had some ups and downs. And she also had a great coach in her last place, so she's got a high basketball IQ. So she brings a lot to the table for us, and it was evident when she stepped on the floor just in June that we got better because she was here.
How difficult has it been handling the ego of an international swimsuit model?
The best part, Jill may be the most privileged, hardworking, blue-collar, elite player I know. She's got this unique mix of all those things. She has tremendous pedigree, from her parents, and obviously her siblings do pretty good too, athletically. She just wants to make a name for herself. She doesn't want to be known as anyone's daughter or anyone's sister. She's Jillian Hayes, and I think she's done a great job doing that. But at the same time, she's incredibly humble, and the way that she leads is by her actions. And everybody shows up and works hard in practice because she does.
Your staff and the way you built it over the last year, how impactful have they been in this transition, and then just the ability to not only retain talent but add talent in future years for this program?
My staff is everything. And a couple of them are left over from Wright State, and we lost a couple going to Memphis and a couple more coming here. And I've been incredibly fortunate and blessed to find good people that are role models for these young people. And then they love basketball. And so no matter what responsibility I give them, they do it to the best of their ability with a lot of pride. I've never known people to not attend a university and have so much love for one. And I respect it and I appreciate it, with this being my alma mater and home for me, that they show up every day and they want to be the best version of themselves. Yes, of course, for them and their career, but more importantly for these young folks. And without them, I know we wouldn't be taking the steps forward that we are, and we wouldn't have the people interested in our program that are.
Coach, we've kind of asked the players this, but from a coaching perspective and also as a former player, how exciting for you is it as a coach to kind of see the elevation of women's basketball over the last few years, where we're at a point where the women's championship is gaining more viewership than the men's?
Yeah, I think it's fun for us to joke about it, but we know that men's basketball has been here and is here to stay, that people are always going to watch it. But I do think that it does say something about the growth and the interest. We just want to be growing for the right reasons. We want people to appreciate the brand of basketball that we play, that we're playing hard, that we're playing together, that you can bring, again, your kids to the games and see a team working cohesively. And at the same time, that we have enough talent on the floor that there's some oohs and ahs. So I'm excited about it. I think you can't help but be. But at the same time, there's some balance there with some purity of the game. We want to make sure that we keep that too. Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all being here. See you this year.